First, I want to know what Simran Meditation is.
Okay, practically, I would say it's a set of exercises, but they are meant to just make us more clear about what we are and where we are. They're not like anything else. They're not a meditation exercise or focus exercise. They're just a set of investigative exercises and practices to make us aware of what we are and where we are. The meditation part is like a side effect, like a very positive side effect that comes with that clarity. So actually what we're aiming for is clarity, and the side effect is meditation. So that's how Simran Meditation works. We don't actually meditate. We never sit and like, oh, hope to quiet the mind. We just want to know what this whole thing is and who's perceiving it.
So it's nearly like a conversation.
Yeah, very much. It's like an exploration. It's an exploration of the present moment. And exploring it with our experience, let's say, not exploring it only with what do I think about, what do you think, but like really what are we experiencing in this moment? What is your honest, true experience? It is a stream of life. Something is conscious of it. What is all that? That is the exploration. And nobody actually knows. That's the beauty. Nobody, even the ones who think, I really know all of this, I don't need to do that. Even those people are very much surprised of what they find.
I mean, I love that because it's like very easy. It's like when people go to meditation, they're like, they need to sit down and breathe and then get distracted and they don't know what to do. But if it's a conversation, it just makes things very natural. And like also, you don't really think about having to meditate. And then when it possibly just happens, you're like, oh my gosh, that was meditation.
You find yourself in meditation suddenly. You realize as the more clear you become about the current situation, and we're talking even, your mind is working, and suddenly you realize, even though my mind is here and it's working, I'm super present. I'm not attached to anything. I'm complete. I'm not searching. My body feels at home. So you are in meditation and your mind comes and goes and doesn't even bother you anymore. It's much more beautiful than to just stay in concentration, I feel like. It's, again, what I usually say to people, meditation is our original state. Every children, when they are resting, they are in meditation. It's our natural state. And we kind of got hypnotized away from that. So it's just the returning to our original natural state. That's why it feels like home.
I think that's the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
And do you usually do it outdoors, like all the time with people outdoors, or do you also just do private sessions like indoors where you're like...
So far I've been doing like all kinds of stuff. I do a lot of Skype sessions.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I have one today and one tomorrow. But I prefer to meet someone. Like if someone is really interested in this kind of, I prefer to at least meet them 3 to 5 times in person, because I enjoy experiencing this thing, revealing what we are doing in different circumstances. So recently I had a very amazing guy here in Rishikesh that went through this whole program with me. First time we did it in a yoga studio. Next time we did it in a garden. Third time next to Ganga River. And fourth time, which is today, we'll do it night time when he's a totally different state of mind. And fifth time, we're going to do it in Rishikesh market, a crazy Indian city, in the middle of all the craziness. He will feel that no matter what kind of state or surrounding or environment we are in, he will find meditation effortlessly, which is the point. So therefore, I don't prefer to do it in one single place, because then it's conditional. And your mind might think that, oh, I feel at peace when I'm in this garden or something.
And
you're going to find this. Exactly. So instead, you should find this peace unconditionally, which is what we aim for.
And where was the loudest place you did it before?
Rajasthani restaurant in Rishikesh market. You've been there?
No.
Oh, it's a crazy Indian restaurant. Like pretty much people are sitting on you because it's so crowded. You have, of course, let's say all five senses are on full effect. You're loud as hell. The food is extremely tasty. So, but it's also smelly in the whole restaurant from all kind of foods that they make. People are sitting on you, so your body sensation and touch is on full effect. And of course, everything is blinking and shiny. And so all your five senses are on full effect, screaming for your attention, and then you can still find silence.
Oh, that sounds so fun. Can we please do that sometime?
Yeah.
That sounds like
You're very
such
welcome
an
to come.
adventure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Have you tried it on a concert?
No, would be weird if you're on a concert. You want to really focus on the concert.
If it's a long concert, like let's say like a long.
If it's a long concert, yeah, definitely. I've done it in the main train station in Stockholm also during rush hour. You know, when everyone really just want to run home or to work or whatever. That was quite intense because the vibe there, like the atmosphere, is more emotionally heavy. Even it's less loud than Rajasthani, but at least in Rajasthani restaurant, everyone wants to be there. But in a crowded train station, nobody wants to be there. So it's a very, very rough vibe. Like it's a heavy energy to meditate in. We think, but it was not.
Yeah, I was already like, I'm down to try that too. Or in Singapore. Yeah. At rush hour, it's like.
I think honestly, your laughter comes from that you deeply know that none of that would touch you. If you would connect during such a situation, your soul knows that won't be a problem.
And then also like kind of becomes into an adventure, like a game. It's like no matter where you are, you can still find back the same state, and then you're like, and then suddenly nothing else matters. Or if you want to, you can even tune into something else.
Yeah, very much. And because when you find this center, from there you can go to then you can start to change stuff if you want. Then you can see that, oh, I have really strange reactions right now. Where do they come from? When you find your way back to meditation, like the observing state, then it's so obvious, like where your reactions come from. Like, what do I believe about this moment or this person? Why am I fighting with this person? Like, all of these things are very obvious. So it's like you go home first, and from home you see everything clearly, and then
can you do it with multiple people at the same time?
Yeah, but so far I experienced that during these very difficult environments, the smaller group, the easier. Almost either private or like 3 people. I can't do like 30 people in a train station because they would even they would distract each other. So
I think
smaller group
in the newspaper.
Yeah, probably like a crazy sect leader.
Yeah. Oh my gosh! Flash mob in the middle of the thing.
Yeah, something like that.
And then everyone joins.
Yeah. That would be nice, actually.
That would actually be really
that would be really cool. Yeah.
You should do that just at a festival. Like you just have the mic, start talking. People are like, what's going on? And they listen, and then they can't stop because they're in that state, and they sit down like, okay.
Yeah. I wish it was that easy. But some convinced minds, they are not easy to get to.
They just continue walking.
Yeah. Maybe it's kind of like what we talked about before, like about the frequency. Like some frequencies don't recognize each other almost. Like it's almost like you're in parallel world. Like you can be in a certain way, and someone who's another state of mind can just pass you and not see you at all. Yeah. And then suddenly there's another person, and you see each other so much because they're in the same vibe. So kind of like that. When I have outside meditations, there are definitely of course, children and animals, they always join. Also some people, some old people, maybe some they're like, oh, what's going on there? Something nice.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. I love that so much.
But of course, someone who's busy with something, and they won't even see us. Like they'll think we're a tree or something.
Yeah. Can we do an exercise?
Yeah. Usually I have this step-by-step exercise because it really depends where the person I talk to is at. One of the first things that you need is to realize that for some people this is mind-blowing, but life is only the present moment. In your mind, life has a background to it and a foreground that you're almost there. But when you really check, if you are honest with your experience, the only thing exists, the only thing you can experience is the present moment. And this sounds very basic, and when you see it, it's obvious, but to really live in that, to really know that what I call life is this ever-changing present moment. And that is step one. If someone don't join that, if someone has problems accepting this, then it's difficult to go further. So there is usually, that's step one of my exercise. But if I see this person already knows this, or intuitively he or she is here, then I go on to next step. And then we start to explore, what is this present moment? What is really happening? Not only to see that that's the only thing, we see what is this present moment. It's like a stream of experiences, constantly changing, constantly moving. And our character is a part of this stream. Like this stream of experiences, our character states, feeling, depression, happiness, everything is a part of this constantly changing experience. And that's when you start to get ready to turn this whole thing around. Like, oh, so if even my character is a part of this stream of experiences, this adventure that I'm looking, then who am I? Then you're ready to start to see what is really looking at this experience, what is enjoying this adventure, which includes the world, the universe, and the character, and all the dimensions in between. What is enjoying that? And that's my main meditation. That's to keep focused there and explore yourself as the enjoyer of this experience. And as most people don't know yet, this is done by a process of letting go of stuff. Like, okay, so I'm deeper than that. I'm deeper than that. So you kind of subtract stuff from yourself. Okay, so that's a part of my character. That's a part of my ideas. That's a part of my thoughts. So in that sense, you kind of end up, what can't you remove? Like you kind of that. And then you end up with something that can't go away. Something that is always there. And that's where we hang out. And for that dimension of you, that's the one smiling because it recognizes this. And that dimension of you has no problem meditating. It has no problem with this world. It has no problem with drama or boredom or anything. That's the real one. That's the one that can play here.
True.
Yeah. And suddenly, like, one of the typical effects is that everyone feels like, oh, this is so natural. What have I been doing? Like, how could I not recognize this part of me? Like, that's the funny part. That's where a lot of both laughter and cry comes from. Like, people kind of recognize this and they feel, oh, I was always like this when I was a child. Like, I knew this. And then, like, what have I been doing? How could I forget such a thing?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And also you become very...
It's like the funny part. Of course, because you're not hiding from your true self. It takes so much energy to imagine that you're something else than your true self. It's almost like escaping a black hole. You are that black hole, and you try, like, no, I want to be this idea, or I'm this thing, or people say this about me, and you just like drown into your true self, and you realize, that was a quite nice place.
I don't know if your screen is also frozen, but mine is.
Yeah, I have to take a screenshot of you.
I was first.
No, but you are so cool. In my, like, this is the coolest Naomi I see. Because especially since you sat like that for such a long time.
Oh my god, I don't know what I'm looking at, but...
Okay. How do we... Hello?
Hi.
I can't see you. You became the black hole.
So you're darkness too.
The meditation was too powerful.